Hello, and welcome to the 11th video lecture of Principles of Marketing, Semester 1, Module number 1. In today's video lecture, we are going to study about marketing environment, in particularly the macro environment. So what is the macro environment? Macro environment consists of the large forces that act on a company, and not only on the company, all the companies and all the firms that are within the industry. So these forces are common to all the industry, that is all the firms that are working in the industry. So what are the various types of forces that come under the macro environment? So, as we have already discussed earlier, macro environment consists of various factors or various forces that affect the company's transaction or the all the company's transactions with its customers. Some of these are political, economic, socio-cultural, technological, ecological, that is natural environment, and legal and demographic environment. So we shall take these environments or sub factors one by one. But before going into this, we would like to remember all the names in a small acronym which we give it as PESTED. Down it is written it in color form, that is PESTED, PESTELD. It stands for P political, E economic, S socio-cultural, T technological, E ecological, L legal, and D demographic. This is how we popularly remember. Some people only prefer to say pestle or pestil, but demographic is also one of the major concepts which you have to study. So let us understand today political and economic environment in detail. So what is the political environment? The first alphabet, that is P, political. So political, does politics in India or global politics affect the way companies market themselves or affect the marketing of a firm? Yes, they surely do. How do they do it? Sometimes, in fact many times, what happens is political parties that come to power are backed with certain ideologies. There are certain parties which are leaning left, certain parties which are leaning right. They have their different philosophies when it comes to politics, and all this definitely affects all the business and to some extent marketing, how you do marketing. There may be sometimes certain political parties which may come up with some legislations which may affect us directly or indirectly, so it may result in increased legislations, increased political interference in the business. Will definitely lead to increased legislations. Lot of new laws may come into force regarding marketing and business in particular. Political views of the parties, opinions of the parties, the philosophies of the parties also play an important role in designing these rules and regulations for the businesses. Similarly, many times we see that certain countries, if we are going for global marketing, we see that certain countries are politically unstable. They might be cases of army coups, or many times what may happen is there might be civil wars in their countries. So such kind of countries are considered to be very difficult to enter and market to. So there may will be lot of political instability. Also what we see is there is lot of there may be political uncertainty if there are certain companies that come to power, and they sorry certain parties that they come to power, and they fall short of majority. So when this happens, a coalition government comes into the power, and because of many parties come together and share the power, the decision making is pending and it is not considered to be that good for businesses. So a strong power, that is strong party which can take effective decision, is considered to be good for businesses and marketing in particular. So there should be lot of political stability or certainty should be there. If there is political instability or uncertainty, then definitely those kind of environment is not good for marketing or any businesses as such. Moving ahead to the next factor, that is economic factors. Economic factors play a vital role in marketing, because in the end what we are trying to do is we are trying to market products to the consumers, and it depends upon the economic development and total general economic development of the entire country. So if economic development, we are thinking, if the economy is developed, marketing becomes easier, because generally the living standards, that is standard of living, will be high in such a country. For example, in US, if you want to market, marketing becomes little easier, because the standard of living is high, and especially if you're for an FMCG product, then marketing for an FMCG product becomes quite easier in such countries, because people are well to do, people have lot of income, many people, in fact the average income is quite good, and hence it leads to better consumption. So economic development plays a vital role. Similarly, the next point, which say talks about changes in income, we always keep in mind whether the income level of people is changing. Now take for instance the recent events like demonetization, or maybe even the lockdown. It had an considerable effect on many Indians. Many factories, many businesses did not work during those. People who were getting salary, their salary were cut because of this lockdown. Lot of people, especially those daily workers, lost their jobs and their source of income. And as such, what happened is there was a huge change in income in India. Because of this, the shift that happened in the demand, you have to clearly observe this. So what happened is people shifted from luxury towards basic needs. People did not spend much for luxury items. People started to spend for daily necessities. So that was the change in income pattern and how it affected the demand. If it affects the demand, then definitely it will affect the marketing of your company. You have to change certain strategies of your company. Maybe you have to come up with smaller pouches, reasonable affordable pouches, or different variants of your product. So that you will understand when we are discussing about pricing and promotion methods and the product development methods. The next thing you have to consider in economic factors is the changes in consumer spending patterns. The same thing which I told you. If the spending pattern of consumers is changing, if the income is increasing, he may change his spending pattern. That is, he may spend more for his luxuries, and he may spend less for less, comparatively less, for his basic necessities. But if the income level is falling, if the income is decreasing, then the consumers tend to shift to a completely different dimension, and they may spend more for the basic necessities, or little for the enough for the basic necessities, and lesser amount or maybe nothing for the luxurious items. So changes in consumer spending affects our marketing and business, and you have to take care of those things also. Then comes the business cycle. Business cycle consists of a cyclic process or a cyclic period, or where any economy or any country goes through certain phases in its uh, time. So it may be divided into various phases like prosperity, recession, depression, recovery. What is prosperity? Is prosperity consists of a period which shows increased business activities, commercial activities, and as a result many people get jobs, many people get good income, and hence commercial activities are increasing. Recession is a time where commercial activities are going down, the income is decreasing, people are not consuming as much as they were consuming earlier, and it goes all the economic activities are going down. Depression is the bottommost part of the commercial activity, where it has gone down to such a level that it needs urgent recovery of the economic activities, or else it will stay in depression for a long time, which is not advisable for any economy. In fact, recession and depression is considered to be very bad. I'll share a video regarding business cycles to you. What are the business cycles, so that you can understand it in a better way. recovery is a process where after depression it will try to recover and gain go back into the prosperity phase. It is a sinusoidal wave. It goes up down or up down up down, and this continues on. So these are some of the political and economical environment or factors that you have to study. In the next class we shall take up other things also regarding the macro environment.